What it is, what it do, what it is. I am the Grizz. Welcome back to Yesterday Today. This, of course, is the show where we bring you some of the biggest gaming news you may have missed from yesterday today. And we got a lot we got to dig into, so let's jump right into it. Okay, so to start off, every year, PlayStation and Nintendo and other companies too give you a nice roundup. Spotify, YouTube Music, all of these companies give you the roundup of everything you listen to or what you played. And, well, you can straight up get to it now and you know exactly what you played, specifically what system and how many hours you put there. And here it is. Here's my stats for 2022 on my PS5, because I have a PS5 and only a PS5, of course. 325 total hours. Now that's 234 on PS5 games and 91 hours on PS4 games. 325 and zero time on the internet. I don't play online like that, but once I get Modern Warfare, them numbers about to go up. But I actually spend a lot more time on my Xbox, because if I'm playing Halo, online at least, if I'm playing Halo, that's probably where I am. But eventually I'm going to be getting that Modern Warfare 2 after they shrink it down with all them updates, and we're going to get those numbers up. But here you go. Here's your my roundup, and you can get straight up to it. I'll leave a link in the description below for y'all. Next up, let's talk about High on Life. Well, the game has officially come out yesterday, and it seems the consensus is most people are enjoying it. So this is a game where, if you like Rick and Morty, if you love Trover Saves the Universe and Polar Opposites, I believe that's what it is on Hulu, Justin Roiland from Squanch Games, and if you like his sense of humor, you're going to like this game. If you like shooters, you're also going to like this game, with live ammo talking to you throughout the whole game. Is absolutely entertaining, because I remember the first time I experienced that, and that was in Oddworld Stranger's Wrath, and I absolutely loved that game. Well, the guns in that didn't per se talk to you, not all of them. Some of them would chatter a little bit, but this game full out has dialogue, and the guns apparently are a part of the story. And right now, High on Life is sitting at a 76 on Metacritic, and that's absolutely fine for what it is. It's actually really great, because if it was in the 60s, people would, but this means it's pretty good. So let's just get an idea. Let's look at a couple reviews and get an idea of where it kind of lands on the totem pole. And of course, you have PC Invasion. High on Life is a hilarious piece of comedy that also makes for an enjoyable first-person shooter, especially if you're into Justin Roiland's brand of humor. Absolutely, and that just sounds like it's just an easy sell for people like me. And then, of course, you got a 70 from Games Radar, and they said, High on Life is a confident and capable Metroidvania that takes real pleasure in being as weird and outlandish and as is reasonably possible, in presenting combat underpinned by chatting weapons and worlds wrought with endless distraction. Squanch Games has created something that is well worth your time, even if some of its elements lack refinement. Now, hey, listen, that's fine, okay? And as far as the Metroidvania goes, I've noticed some of it. I've only played about maybe an hour and a half to 2 hours of it, but I have noticed some light Metroidvania elements, and I'll let y'all know as I get further along. The game is set to be about 10 hours, so hopefully I'll finish that up before Christmas and get a nice little review out there. But do y'all like my reviews? Let me know about all this in the comments below. Alright, so let's quickly talk about Amazon Games, specifically the free games they give out monthly, and they put out a pretty good list coming at the end of this month. Not bad, coming right after Christmas. And here's what we have coming from December 27th to January 3rd, starting off with Dishonored 2. Now, if you own PC, you probably have PC Game Pass, but if you don't, well, that's foolish. But anyway, Dishonored 2 is on there, and Dishonored is part of Game Pass and an Xbox game. But hey, if you can get it for free, pick it up as well, because maybe one day you just won't have Game Pass for whatever reason. But then you have Dishonored 2, Metal Slug X, Metal Slug 3, Real Bout Fatal Fury, The King of Fighters 2003, The Last Blades 1 and 2, Twinkle Star Sprites, SNK 40th Anniversary Collection. Now, I just love this thing about Amazon's games, that they give you a lot of SNK titles, specifically the old school ones, and I love these. I've always loved Metal Slug, and I really got a chance to finally enjoy The Last Blade, because I didn't really get a chance to back in the day, and so now it's in all these collections. It's on PC, it's on every other console. But then they're going to be joining all these other games: Quake, Rose Riddle 2, Werewolf Shadow, The Amazing American Circus, Banners of Ruin, Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons, which is a very critically acclaimed game, Spinch, Desert Child is a game that continues to elude me because I own it on every platform now. Endures Paradox. And hey, listen, even if you feel like you might not play it right now, maybe your taste in gaming might change. Just download it. It's free. As the same thing goes with Epic Games, because right now they have Saints Row along with the Get Out of Hell expansion. Get it. It's free games. Why don't you look into it and let me know if you're playing any of these games down in the comments below. Next up, let's talk about Riot Games and their recent partnership with Xbox Game Pass. Now, this definitely excites me. Now you got some of these recurring online games just coming out, and now they're on Game Pass. And of course, if they're going on Game Pass, they got some perks, right? So, first of all, we're going to talk about it here. This is from Xbox, the blog post specifically. The unlock is here. Riot Games and benefits come to Game Pass. Calling all top fraggers, ARAM mains, master tacticians, and meta breakers. Riot's biggest PC and mobile games are now available to Game Pass members, along with the Malphite-sized heap of additional unlocked benefits and rewards. And then they just give you it's a huge list of a bunch of stuff. Each one of these games that you see here have benefits. And Valorant, I know for one, has all of the champions unlocked, as well as some double XP, stuff like that. Now, out of all these other games, I'm mostly interested in Valorant simply because it is a first-person shooter. And it's become very competitive out there as well. And it hasn't been on console yet, and I don't think they said anything about it being on console. But here, I'm recording this right here on my PC, a PC that is capable of running Valorant. I even have Valorant on my PC. I just haven't gotten a chance to get into it, but I'm a little concerned once I get in there because people have been playing Valorant for, 3-4 years at this point, and man, I'm going to get crushed. But I'm really, really excited. I might get a nice little head start with Xbox Game Pass. But are you into all of these other games? If you have Game Pass, you have some benefits. And I love some of the stuff that comes out of the Riot Games. Like, I loved Arcane. That was an awesome show. So I'm interested. Let me know if you're interested in any of this and if you have Game Pass. And tell me what you feel about these. And have you ever competed competitively in any of these? Let me know about all this in the comments below. Next up, let's talk about Spider-Man, specifically Spider-Man 2 on the PS5 and Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, the movie that will be coming next year. Now, I saw the trailer yesterday, as many of us did, and the trailer was definitely fire. The first movie was absolutely amazing, and I'm really, really excited about the second one. But here's the thing. There's been a mention of Spider-Man, the game suit inside the movie. The thing is the listing for the game showed up in the PlayStation Store as well, and it, like where you could wish list it, and people was like, "Are we getting news about it soon? Are we?" But some people speculated that it would actually show up in this trailer, which came out the day after that happened on the PlayStation Store, and it didn't. Here you are, right here in the screenshot, where he is talking to one of the other Spider-Men across the Spider-Verse, and that's what's going on. And I can't wait to see this movie. I can't wait to hear more about this game. I am excited. Spider-Man is just Spider-Man, and anytime Spider-Man comes out, it's a video game, a movie, it's gonna sell millions upon millions, and Sony, they found a way to interweave that. So let me know what you think about all this in the comments below. Next up, let's talk about probably the most annoying recurring thing in the news today, Sony and Microsoft, because Sony seems to go around trying to do its best to block the deal of the acquisition that Microsoft is trying to acquire for Activision. The thing is, though, it's just a lot of back and forth, and while these companies are going back at it, you got some of these company fanboys that's just really going hard on either side. And honestly, me personally, I think that it's good for competition. But here's the thing, the FTC is suing to block it, and now Sony is doing everything they had to say. And Phil Spencer, he has officially responded and said, Sony is leading the dialogue around why the deal shouldn't go through to protect its dominant position on console. So the thing they grab onto is Call of Duty. And he also said, the largest console maker in the world raising an objection about the one franchise that we've said will continue to ship on the platform. Now, exactly, I understand exactly what it is. This is what has to happen when it's just two companies that's just directly in competition. But of course, to the public, if you're really paying attention on Twitter and all of these other social media spaces, it basically sounds like Sony is a child jumping up and down, just throwing a tantrum. But this is what you need to do to protect your investment. Sony has the lead, and they want to remain in the lead. No one wants to lose, right? And if you feel you're going to lose a significant amount of money because you're losing one franchise, well, That's really interesting. Even though Sony has a lot of IP that they could probably put some large focus on, and maybe that's the goal going forward, but they feel like they just want to hold on to Call of Duty while they can, because it brings a lot of money over to the PlayStation systems. But hey, Xbox said they'll still give it to you. Xbox has offered Nintendo a 10-year deal. They've offered Steam a 10-year deal, because remember, they had everything launched on the client, and now they have a 10-year deal with all of these other companies. That's not actually, the ink isn't going to be dry on that until this deal goes through, but Sony is really the most vocal ones, like, yo, nah, y'all can't have that, we can't. And they said they'll still give it to them, but they just realized, hey, if it's going to be on Game Pass, maybe we can lose the bread to it. But then they also offered it to be on a subscription. Now, I don't know if it was going to be PlayStation Plus, but if they said, yo, we'll even let you put it on PlayStation Plus, still Sony's like, nah. So I don't know what the end game is there, but I just know what it looks like. It's interesting to hear about it, but it's not even the most fun to cover. But this is what it is. It's a part of gaming news, and you know I'm bringing you the biggest gaming news you may have missed. So let me know what you think about all of this down below and all of the latest developments. Alright, so let's wrap up today's episode with Armored Core 6 Fires of Rubicon. Now, I remember Armored Core all the way back, I do want to say, on the PS1 era, and I remember going around the corner to my friend's house, and he's showing me this game with this big robot, and it's fighting other big robots and stuff like that. He's like, yo, bro, this is called a mech, and I'm like, yo, this is crazy to me. And I was always kind of interested in the Armored Core franchise. I was never really super into it, and it's crazy because that's the consensus around the world. Now, these aren't ever really bad games, but they just never really sell a lot. They haven't sold, I don't even think they've crossed 1 million sold anywhere, really. But this is actually very interesting because, well, they're coming off of Elden Ring, and now they can make Armored Core, because the way game development works with anything is the more you experience and you learn, you can make better games. And IGN and other publications sat down with Hidetaka Miyazaki, and he's the creative director on this one, but IGN asked him a very interesting question, and they said, is it fair to say that Armored Core 6 will be closer to the Soulsborne games than the series has been in the past? Now, a lot of people was assuming this because they've been making Souls games for, 10 years now, and they've all been hits. And with Elden Ring being the hugest hit, and they weren't even expecting it to be this big, he said it himself, he said, I have no idea why this game is such a hit. And they even have me, because just simply off of the hype, and I'm not the biggest fan of these types of games, but it even has me very interested in seeing how far I can get with it. But the thing is, Hidetaka Miyazaki said, no, we've not been making a conscious effort to try to direct it towards more Soulsborne type gameplay. First of all, let me just make that clear. The essential direction of Armored Core 6 was to go back and take a good look at the core concept of Armored Core and what made the series special. So we wanted to take the assembly aspect, assembling and customizing your own mech, your AC, and then being able to exact a high level of control over the assembled mech. So we wanted to take those two core concepts and re-examine those in our modern environment. And just like I said, as you learn to do better. And I'm really interested in seeing where this goes, because they now know what to expect. And I know for a fact that once they see Bandai Namco and From Software attached to this game, people are gonna latch on to it, because it just means so much more now. And this is the time for Armored Core, and I'm just gonna go ahead and predict it right now. This game is at the very least selling 3 million copies, and it might even do way better than that, because they're gonna just find a way to market this just like they did with Elden Ring, and it's gonna be a hit. Just watch. Alright, y'all, that's a wrap for today. So let me know what you think about everything we spoke about here down in the comments below. Are you looking at your PlayStation wrap-up, your Nintendo wrap-up, your YouTube Music, Spotify, whatever? Let me know down in the comments below. Are you excited for Armored Core 6? What do you think about this? I really hope that they make a stellar game. And the fact that it's not Soulsborne, and it has guns in it, alright, maybe I might have an interest. Let me know, though, what you think about everything down in the comments below. But before you go, if you haven't already, hit that red subscribe button and then hit that notification bell next to it, because I post every Wednesday, and then I post even other random times. Just yesterday, I posted this bomb God of War review. Why don't you go ahead and check that out. Make sure you hit that like button on your way out, and if not, go in the comments and let me know what you dislike. But for now, though, this video is finito.